Must be YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame time around the corner again, because I am hearing through the grapevine about the sort of annual chorus of dissenters who express their displeasure or their opposition to the Hall of Fame. I want to stress through the grapevine here, actually, because a little bit to my own credit, uh, obviously there's a lot of things I am not good at, but one thing that I'm really, really good at is ignoring the drama side of the hobby. Okay, so I don't watch the hype channels. I don't listen to the drama. I don't hate watch the drama and things like that. I don't do it, and I encourage you to not do it either. Um, but anyway, but because I participate in the community to some extent, I'm sort of coming to learn these things secondhand. And so apparently the charge this year is that the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame is this kind of old boys club where these older guys with really, really world class vintage collections kind of just circle jerk and pat each other on the back. And that's what it is. And so that's BS and right. And so obviously, for one thing, that is not the case. If you look at the inductees, you can parse out that that is the Sports Card Hall of Fame is not just a bunch of boomers with fire vintage collections high-fiving each other, right? But let's say it is. Let's pretend that the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame is that way. That it is a bunch of boomers high-fiving each other with their, nearly complete set of T206 or whatever. um, who cares? So what? It's small time. Leave your ego at the door. So this is the I'm gonna try to make this point, right? Even if that were the case, if you are getting upset about being somehow excluded or ignored by this thing that is laughably small time, guys. It's laughably small time. Like let's look at it in a YouTube context, right? There are people on YouTube. There are YouTubers who you've got guys who mouth breathe into a microphone and play Minecraft, and they get more subscribers in a week, in a day, than you will ever make over the whole life of your YouTube sports card channel that you think just has so much clout and is just not getting the recognition it deserves, right? Because that's sort of the tacit thought here, right? I'm not being recognized by this entirely small potatoes thing that doesn't matter. Guys, ego's at the door. Like, it's card YouTube. Uh, my point is, like, of course we should always try to limit our ego. If you're getting angry or the feelings inside you that this is engendering or that of like aversion and irritation, and that's ego. You feel that you're not being recognized and that you're not being validated for your awesome thing that deserves recognition or whatever. But we should always check our egos at the door, right? But especially with this, guys, it's card YouTube. Like I said, we're all nobodies. You're hoping to get recognition from a bunch of nobodies. It's like you're a nobody, I'm a nobody. Everybody in this thing is a nobody, in the grand scheme of things, right? So ego's at the door. It's card YouTube. It's small potatoes. It's for fun. I mean, my word. Anyway, so that's all for that. Let's get into some cards. I got this Hideki Matsui. This is a pretty cool lenticular Hideki Matsui from 2002, Gold Glove winner. Can't really pick up the lenticular action on the camera very well, but that's okay. Recently, I've been getting into Satoru O cards. from his coaching or managing days. So you can get like some 2000s cards and things like that, 90s, with O as a coach or manager. And I've just, these are pretty cheap. I've been getting into them. So this is one commemorating the 2003 Japan Series champions. The Hawks won it in 2003. Of course, they've had a more recent dynasty as well, as the SoftBank Hawks. But back then they were the Fukuoka Daiei Hawks, and Satoru O was managing them. And I think this is just an awesome, awesome image. So in Japan, a tradition that I really like is the tradition of tossing the manager a few times in the air after a big victory, usually a pennant win or a Japan Series win. I think it's an awesome tradition. So, really, really great image there. And then let's see here. I guess we'll quickly do the only non-Japanese card in the video. Now, it might seem that I've shifted my focus to Japanese cards or Japanese players in recent months or whatever. That does kind of dominate the content in my videos recently. That's just for this and that reason, but it's not. I actually love, American cards, Major League cards, and that's still my main thing. It's just for this and that reason, having to do with exchange rates and other things. I have a little bit more of an easier time of buying Japanese cards here in Japan than the Topps Major League stuff. But anyway, I did pick this up. This is pretty cool. This Matt Olson Purple mini from Bowman, numbered to 250. Actually, I found this by chance. I was actually looking for Sheldon Noisy of the Tigers. He has A's rookie cards. And if you don't know, Sheldon Noisy plays for the Tigers now, the Hanshin Tigers. He made the final out of the Japan series. And so, he will kind of forever be like a Hanshin Tigers. He'll be loved by their fans and stuff. So I wanted to get some like Sheldon Noisy Topps cards because I know they're dirt cheap, and there would definitely be like interest in them here in Japan, but I think they're still pretty cheap, so I wanted to try to get some. Anyway, looking through some A's stuff, I found the Matt Olson, which is better than Sheldon Noisy, but okay, so let's get into some BBM. Speaking of the Tigers, I have this cool shiny parallel of Shokimurakami. Now, Shokimurakami actually, he kind of came out of nowhere this year. He developed into the Tigers ace this year. And in fact, he won both Rookie of the Year. He's a rookie last season. He won both Rookie of the Year and MVP. He did take home Central League MVP. It was announced a few days ago. So, Shokimurakami. And speaking of MVPs, maybe no surprise, the guy who won Pacific League MVP was none other than Yoshi Yamamoto, who is going to, as the kids say, get his bag very soon. My money is on the Mets. I think that, Ohtani's not going to the Mets. And I think, Steve Cohen is not going to be denied a big ticket free agent. So I think Yamamoto is going to go to the Mets. Got another one. These are all from BBM's second version, 2023. I got my man Nori Aoki, big collector of him. This is a silver signature parallel. These are not numbered, the silver signatures. And then I got Koji Chikamoto of the Tigers, one of my favorite players in Japan. He is the Tigers' center fielder and leadoff hitter. This is the blue signature parallel. These are cool because they're kind of like have like a matte finish, and they are numbered to 75. So one thing I do like about the Japanese cards, lower print runs, lower numbering, fewer parallels, at this point because Topps is ballooning the print runs of their Major League Baseball cards, right? They have to like think of more and more parallels to try to offset it. So anyway, so actually, my LCS had a pretty good deal on Topps MPB Chrome. I picked up a whole box for, probably in US dollars about $50. And the box did not disappoint. Like I said before, these cards are higher quality, lower print run. And I got a bunch of refractors and a bunch of color in the box. So I'll share some of the stuff with you guys. So this was actually 2022 because 2023 actually came out recently. So they still had some of 2022, I guess. I think honestly, it's like people aren't buying. They're not crazy about it as much because there aren't like guaranteed hits in it, which I don't care. Give me refractors, give me some color. I don't care about hits, relic cards, or quite as much. But here's some of the highlights from the box. I got a refractor of Chusei Manami, another player I really like watching in Japan. He is a slugging outfielder for the Tigers, or sorry, the Tigers, the Fighters. And he had I would say his breakout season this year. And then here's another one. I hit a refractor of my man Chikamoto. Showed him before. So Chikamoto was the MVP of the Japan series. And as I said, his teammate Shokimurakami took home season MVP for the Central League. So the Tigers are pretty stacked. But the biggest hits of the box were definitely these. I got the Roki Suzuki refractor. That image is commemorating his perfect game. And then I got the refractor of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So great looking card. Okay, and then I did rip a couple packs of the 2023 as well, but they weren't on sale or anything, so I didn't get that many. But I did get from the 2023 that came out. I got this green refractor of Tatsunori Hara, who was the Giants manager for a time, also a legendary player for them. Pretty standard for them for a Giants manager to also be a legendary player for the team. Common in Japan. Green refractor out of 99. And then I also got this one. This is a slightly different green, aqua of Domingo Santana. And Domingo Santana used to be a Brewer, so I thought this was a pretty cool hit. And then let's see here, a couple inserts too. I got this one of Shota Imanaga. Shota Imanaga is also almost probably gonna come over to the major leagues. Second best Japanese pitcher available after Yamamoto for what it's worth. I'll say that Imanaga goes to the Red Sox. So there was some talk that some people think that Yamamoto might go to the Red Sox because, his friend and former teammate Masataka Yoshida is on the Red Sox. He was a rookie last year and things like that. But I think because my idea is that Yamamoto is going to go to the Mets. I think that the Red Sox will pick up Imanaga. So yeah, Yamamoto is going to join this guy on the Mets, Kodai Senga, his countryman, across at the top of the Mets rotation. These are pretty cool. These are from the 2022 Chrome, these 58 design Chrome. And then I also got another one of so like I said, it was a good box. I also got one of Taka Nakamura. I've talked about him on my channel a couple times. He's a big slugger with one of the best baseball nicknames you'll ever hear. It translates to basically second helping because he's a big boy. Now, Nakamura was one of those guys where he actually, he never went to the major leagues or anything. He just stayed in Japan. So he's amassed quite a few home runs. He's really up there on the all-time home runs list. He has a very, very outside shot at 500 in Japanese baseball. Probably won't get there, but it is a shot. I think he's got 460 something. But he is like over 40 at this point. But I've said before that, some of these guys, because at this point, all the biggest talent in Japan generally goes on to ply their trade in the major leagues. That the all-time records in MPB are just going to stand for all time because the best talent that could get there they're going to split their numbers, their career numbers between Japan and the majors. So, but Nakamura is one of those guys where you could actually see him reach 500 home runs in Japanese baseball, which is pretty cool. So finally, well, not yeah, for baseball stuff. A few months back, I actually had the privilege of going to the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame. Actually, shout out, it was courtesy of our friend Robert, Prestige Collectibles, hooked me up with tickets. So I was able to go courtesy of Robert. And this is just the pamphlet, kind of the map and sort of little literature about the hall. So these were the inductees this year in 2023. So you've got Alex Ramirez, slugger for the Bay Stars. He also managed Randy Bass of the Tigers. And then Yuji Koseki is actually a composer, believe it or not. So Yuji Koseki, the guy in the suit, he was a composer who he did other music compositions for movies and things like that. But he has the distinction of having written the Hanshin Tigers' famous fight song. And he also composed sort of the anthem or the theme for the Koshien high school baseball tournament. So he was inducted. So. And then finally, I will close it with a little bit something maybe a little bit unconventional. I don't usually show stuff like this, but I just had to share it because it's so awesome. This dropped a couple days ago. I picked up the new Czarface LP, Zartificial Intelligence from Czarface. Czarface is a hip hop group that is headlined by Inspector Deck from the Wu-Tang. And I just had to get this. So it's artificial intelligence. Pretty awesome. All right, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.